Good morning. Welcome to Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. Let's go to our word of the day. Our word of the day is Kawaii. In Japanese popular culture, appealing in an endearing way, cute. And the quality of being cute or items that are cute. All of my new clothes are kawaii. I can't wait to show you. So that's our word of the day. Let's go to our S&P 500 heat map. We got a bounce, a significant move up in a number of issues. Tech is bouncing. NVIDIA is up a little over 3%. Broadcom is up a little over 4%. AMD is up big time. Super microcomputer is up big. Some of the AI names are up. ASML, also in semiconductors, is up big. So that's kind of a look. We got a little bit of a bounce in the oil prices. So energy prices are still a little mixed, but consumer cyclical is up. Tesla's bouncing a little bit. So that's kind of a look at our S&P 500 heat map. Now let's go to, if you're worried about a hard landing, something that happened in 2008, the market was down 54%. Well, you might consider rolling over your money. This way, in this kind of fund, you never lose money, always goes up. And it beats index investing by about 5%. And currently, they're offering 25 to 45% bonuses. So if you want to find more information about that, just send me a comment. And that's the story there. Let's go on to our charts here. Apple is kind of trending. Getting pretty close to this pivot. I think it's kind of, if you draw a list line right here, it's kind of broke out. So that is with Apple. I'm not sure if we got a little slowdown in our internet again. Here we go. Let's look at our dollar index. Dollar is fighting. Came down 2 days ago pretty low, and it's been kind of bouncing ever since. Silver is trying to stay relevant, hang out right around the 20-day moving average. We thought that it may, there's a couple of gaps down here. There's a gap here, the gap here. These tend to be magnets to pull the price weight down. So we'll see if it comes down to the 50-day moving average, but that is silver. Gold is trying to stay around the 20-day moving average as well. Let's take a look at copper. Copper is bouncing, kind of filled this gap here. We got another gap up here. Copper is used a lot in AI, the new AI in all the data centers. So this is why we like copper. See what this copper mining stock in Canada is doing. Bouncing is a little as well. We'll just kind of look at the top copper picks. Freeport-McMoRan. They're all kind of bouncing today, so that's the story there. Let's take a look at our bonds. They were kind of in a free fall earlier in the week. They continue down. We got this one gap here. We'll see if bounce back and fill that gap. This is 10-year picture, so I can read. It's right under 4.3 right now, after being up at 4.7. So that's quite a pull down. And the 20-year is at 3.4. The VIX should be falling with the kind of surge in the markets today. The VIX continues to fall. So we'll see if that can rebound. We've got a little time left in the week, so we'll just see how the rest of the week plays out. S&P 500. Yeah, we definitely got a breakout here. S&P moves higher. Got some pretty good volume 3 days in a row. Take a look at the equal weight in the S&P 500. Doesn't look quite as good. The NASDAQ has been a leading index, and it's breaking out. Got a gap up and breaking out here. The equal weight. Got a gap up as well. It's moving above the 10-day moving average. Look at the small cap index. Small cap is bouncing off of the 50-day, up 1.25%, and finally Dow Jones, which has been the weakest, had quite a bit of a downturn here and almost looks like a triangle formation here. We'll see if it can surge forward from that triangle. Just draw it right here. So there you can kind of see it. Now let us go to see what's trending today. We didn't get a news report, so we're just going to go to what's up 10% on 200% increase in volume. First, let's go to CrowdStrike. We do have a position option in this. We bought the 320 call option, so later in June, we have the option, not the obligation, to buy CrowdStrike at 320. It had gone up here to 359.54. So it needs to clear that to be an official breakout. Kind of kicking myself. I had wanted to buy someone who was at 305 the other day, but I declined to do so since I had the option. But that is the story there. Now let us go to our screen. Guardant Health had a big move up on their earnings. Were up 57%. Cleared the 200-day and then pulled back. That happens a lot of time. This is not quite a cup with a handle, but and then it bounced above that, and look at the move today, up 12.65%, 284% increase in volume. OLLI's bargain outlet has definitely cleared its pivot. This is kind of like a base on base. Here's one base, followed by same base, and it's breaking out. Earnings came in at 49% above, so it was 11%, almost a 12% earnings surprise. So that is OLLI's bargain outlet. They buy from a lot of stores that no longer want to sell merchandise kind of underwater on. So that is OLLI's. It's mainly on the East Coast. Verint Systems, security and intelligent data mining in over 175 countries. It's up 11%. Looks like it's clearing the pivot. Its earnings were up 11%, I should say. They earned 59 cents compared to 53 cents a year ago, previous quarter, and their stock is up 20% for the day. Hewlett Packard It's coming around with all these data center needs for AI, enterprise service solutions, cloud enabled and mobile ready. The earnings are down like 155. No, it's down 19%. Couldn't really see with that little bubble there, but this is saying that this is the highest volume since the base, and this is a double bottom base. Looks kind of like a W. The second bottom needs to be lower than the first, went down to 1626. And once it clears the middle of the W, it is a buy. And so it clearly has cleared this up 13% today. Pause for a moment. So we are back with GuideWire software. Earnings up 425%. You had a negative 8 cents to a 26 cents profit this quarter. Look at the stock is surging 17.5%. Volume is pretty strong. Interesting, we had a little bit of a decline. People didn't have confidence in it, but it is definitely surging today. On to Establishment Labs Holdings. Manufactures silicon-filled breast and body shaping implants. They're moving up close to 10% and some pretty good volume right here. Their earnings came in a few weeks ago. We're down 21%. Cytokinetics develops molecule drugs that modulate muscle function in patients. They had been declining quite a bit. Some good volume here. They're up 10.5%. Novavax develops vaccines that improve current preventive options. Look at this move on their earnings. We're up 69%, and it has not looked back. So this was your chance when it pulled back to the 10-day moving average, took off, pulled back a little bit, and then took off again. Look at all that buying, up 21% today. Look at all these blue bars. That tells you that professional money managers are moving in. This is not your Aunt Edna buying the stock, let me tell you. On to Twist Bioscience. This is Twist Bioscience develops disruptive DNA synthesis platform to industrialize energy of biology. Had a pullback here. So this is kind of a base on base. The upper base tried to break out, pulled back. I don't know if any of you have read Nicholas Darvis's books, but Mr. Darvis came up with what he called the box formation. And stocks will oscillate within this box. And when it breaks out of the box, it is a time to buy. So this is more of a rectangular box. You can kind of see right here. This is a buy point, pulls up here, and gets close to the top edge of the box and then breaks out again. And pulls back again, and then it breaks out again. This is maybe some people taking their profits. This is financial professionals adding to their score and their mutual fund, pension funds, insurance, what have you. So that is, look at all this blue bars in the buying. That is Twist Bioscience. Finally, we do notice that there's a lot of buying in the biotech area. So Excelsis Technologies manufactures ion implantations, dry strip processing equipment for the fabrications of ICs. It's up about 12%. It's been in a pretty flat area to down. So that is the story there. Now we're just going to take a look at what's under the covers of the S&P 500, the different sectors. If my screen will work with me. So this is our financial sector. XLF continues to pull back to its 50-day moving average. So not much happening there at the moment. Look at the oil prices. Oil prices are bouncing right there. Our energy sector tried to bounce and pulling back a little bit. Communications, where Google and Meta are bouncing. Meta looks like it's breaking above the 50-day moving average, moved up a little over 2% today. Google tried to move higher and kind of sold off there. Take a look at our biotech. We haven't looked at that for a few days. Definitely see the buying here. All the blue bars moved up here and kind of broke out again over there. Look at our other biotech. Pulled below right around the 20-day moving average bounce, and it's continuing its bounce. Buying continues to move into the biotech area. Semiconductors got a gap up today. Looks like it's moving out of the pivot area. So had a nice little consolidation. It's nice to see that some other semiconductors other than just NVIDIA are moving out. We need to see a broadening of this market to maintain its health. So we got the infrastructure pulling back a little bit. Airlines under all of its moving averages. We got the leisure activities under all of its moving as well. Metals and mining. Here's the metals and mining kind of bouncing. Home builders bouncing as well. Real estate kind of holding in there. Healthcare sector pull back into the 50 and has been continually rising, kind of like with the biotech area. We got consumer staples. Trying to move into the pivot, pull back a little bit, and now it's getting pretty close to testing it. And that is a look at, see if we got, take a look at utilities. Utilities, look at this big move up. Now utilities are playing a part in AI as well, because they are the ones keeping the data center going and cooling that. So this is a good reason to continue to look at utilities. Look at a few of them. Southern, Duke Energy. This probably isn't doing much in the AI area, but it's been a pretty strong performer. up in the Midwest from where I'm from. So that is the story there. Now we'll bring up Bitcoin on this other screen. In the meantime, take a look at MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is up another 59 points. We have a holding in this. We originally bought this at 490, went up to 1800, and then we held it a little too long. We've been trading in and out of it. We got out of it at 1600, bought it back at 1480, and that's where we are currently at right now. Pull up. Bitcoin really kind of surged overnight. Stop this share and we'll share another screen. So this is Bitcoin. It pulled back under 70,500. So this is kind of one day, and then it just really took off right over here. So the peak has, I think it was right around, yeah, nearly 71,700. Got a little bit of a pullback here. So that is Bitcoin. It is a risk-on type of asset. Ethereum, kind of bouncing around. People are pretty confident it's going to become an ETF. Since SEC is going to approve it, 80 to 90% confidence people out there. So we'll see if ETFs kind of move into this. So that is the story there. Now we'll go back to screens. So this is MicroStrategy. So this is on a cup with a handle. The handle drifts slower, and when it breaks up here on volume, that is a breakout on a cup with a handle base. Showed you the double bottom earlier, and that's a cup with handle. So take a look at a couple of other things, what we're doing. Not really doing anything with NVIDIA right now. We bought this, added some on the earnings. Right over here on the gap up, we added a few shares, not too many, but we added a few after hours. And then it gapped up 2 days later. It continues up as it is really the grandfather of AI, among other things. Crypto, data center, you name it. So some of the other items that we bought the 6250 option on shift 4 payments. Think it possibly could develop a handle here, drift lower, and then maybe break higher. So that is a story. The CEO said he declined a couple of offers that were right around here, and that's why the stock was going up. And when he declined those, that's why it sold off. He said he's going to create value, and you can see they expect 29% increase in earnings this year and another 28% next year. So they are eventually probably going to sell, but he wants to continue to create value, and these are the guys that do the credit card processing for all the hotels out there. So that is 4. ELF is drifting a little bit today. Pull back to its 10-day moving average. Let's see if this is a cup with a handle formation here. I believe ELF is continuing to perform very well. Their management seems to be delivering on many of their promises that they continue to create new cosmetics and at a very good price. In the aerospace area, Aero Environment, we bought this right before, right in the, I guess in the middle of this surge up. We had bought earlier in options, we had rolled it, and then we just decided to buy some of the shares instead of playing with the options anymore. FTAI also in aerospace. A little bounce off of the 20-day moving average here, up 4.32. Almet. Pull back near the 20 days, got a little bit of a bounce today. We'll see, we may take some profits in that one. Then we have our IPO, lower holdings. It pulled back a little bit to the 10-day moving average today, and now it's bounced back to where it was. We'll see if this can be an actual breakout. NetApp continues up, pulled back to about 117.53 yesterday, and now, well, this is 2 days ago, and then has bounced. Look at crowd, top of Mediterranean Grill. It's starting to look like a long time later. We talked a little bit about a little over a year ago when they had their IPO, what an IPO base was. Then we warned everybody when it went from 42, we suggested it was a breakout. Said I was buying there, went up to 58. And then when it pulled back to 52, I told everybody that was the peak and it probably would fail, and it went down to 29. And when it got over here to 31, said I was buying about 1,000 shares there. Then it had a story that, well, I think it had a story that a drive-through salad company was coming out and fell to 31 again. I bought 500 more shares there. Then it just rolled, took some profits right about here, bought options at 49, right around here. Exercise those options and continue to hold. That is Kava. And then finally, we got Dutch Brothers Coffee. Everywhere I go, Dutch Brothers has a long line like in and out. We originally bought them right over here, and then we had a stop put in. When you're trading, I always recommend having a stop because you never know when these things can sell off, and if you have stops in, you can go out and play golf. So it pulled back here. This is where we sold, and then we put on the 36 call option here, and then we bought 300 shares right around 35.50, and it has really taken off today, up 9.5%. A lot of professional buying in that, and look at that volume, just incredible. So that is the story with Dutch Brothers Coffee. Denison Mines, this is uranium miner. We originally bought this at 85 cents a few years ago. Then we bought it at 121. We had sold it fully around the 170 area. Got back in right around here. Sold over here, around 2. And then When it pulled back again, we bought at 194. So has good possibilities because all the power plants have to buy uranium to create electricity. So the Yahoo has a price target at, I believe, $3.45. So we'll see, no guarantees, but we'll keep trading in and around this lift. We bought a bunch of options right around here. It went up quite a bit, and then we shorted some call options around 20, and then we rolled those over, and we just rolled again into July at 18. So we'll see where this goes. The earnings aren't until after the options close, so should be safe there if they have another real good earnings. So that is the story. Thanks for tuning in. This is Mornings with Michael for information and educational purposes only. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the comment. It is your duty to do your own due diligence. Keep out there going for your goals, working on your activities, and keep surprising everybody around you. And we'll be here to help support you in your financial goals. Thanks again. Have a great day.